Hi everyone, this is Jan, and I just wanted to touch bases with you. I haven't been painting in a few weeks, and we have been really hot here in California, anywhere from 109 to 115. We had a 30-day heat wave, and it was just too miserable to try to sit and paint and do any videos. So the heat wave has ended, and we are cooler. We're in the low hundreds, which is cool compared to 115. So I wanted to let everyone know that I do have some August classes coming up, and this painting that I have right here is one of those classes. And this painting is really large. It's like an 18 by 24. But what I have done is break it down into smaller sections so that you might be doing just this part of the rose, or maybe the orange part and some of the greenery, so that you could do this on like an 11-14 or a 12-16. So it makes it a lot easier because my space is so small, I can't really maneuver this big 1824 around in order for you to do one this size. So you have a couple of choices in this class. You can do the pink ones, or you can do the orange ones, and they will just be divided out into just a real smaller painting. And I will send you patterns for it, so that you have patterns for the class. You can do one class or you can do two classes. And you can do them in acrylics or oils. Now remember, when we do these in acrylics, I do use blending gels and slow dry mediums, so you will need to have those on hand before you take the class. And the reason for that is I like to paint wet on wet, and when it's warm your paints will dry too fast and you won't be able to get these real pretty blended petal strokes that you see on all of my paintings. So keep that in mind whenever you register for the classes. You can Facebook message me through Messenger app, and I will give you the information. My classes are $25 for 2 hours, and you can take as many classes as you need to finish the painting. You don't have to paint real fast and try to finish it in one setting. I go by your pace, not my pace. Okay, and you get individual instruction because all of the Zoom classes are private Zoom classes, and you do have the option of recording that class on your computer. So if you want this class here, where you do the roses in either pink or orange, you can sign up for that class. And I still have my classes, my beginner classes, for the peonies. There's 2 of them. You can do a white background or you can do a black background. And also, if you want to do this little bitty wild rose painting, I think this one's really cute. It's not hard to do. This would be a really good beginner classes, and you would learn the petals and the leaves and these small flowers, kind of a watercolory background back here. So if you were going to do classes and you were a total beginner, I'd start with this one right here. And you learn different techniques. You learn to use like your mop brushes for your overstroke. This one right here, you can use your mop brushes. Also, I use 1/2-inch rake brush. For those of you, if you don't have a mop brush, we'll use a rake brush. And we also use just your regular 3/4 or your 16 flat brush. So I teach you 3 different methods to do your petals and your leaves. These are all overstroke on all of these petals that I do. So I give you 3 different options that you can use to do these overstroke petals, because not everybody can do them using one certain brush. So I like to have a lot of options available. So on the peony one here, now this one will take usually more than one class. It'll take a couple of classes to do the peony. And you will be learning the decorative type overstroke leaf. Okay, that's with a flat brush. And on these leaves here, you'll be learning how to lay down your blending gel and your slow dry mediums, and you'll be learning how to blend other colors into each petal. Now this one here is a little more overstroked than this one over here, so you're going to be learning different techniques on these. And as you can see, this one here, this one is using a stroke with your rake brush. See the difference in the petal here? See how I've raked it up like that, but our background on the petal is still wet. This one over here, I have used the flat brush on that one, so you can see the difference on that one there. And then this petal right here is using the mop brush. Okay, so you get to see how to do different techniques with the different brushes on this one right here. And you also learn how to do a turned petal, and we do that after the fact, not before, so you don't have to paint around it or anything. And I show you how to do the turned petal. Then we will come back and do just the regular strokes on the center part here, and I'll show you how to do a dome center. And then of course we do the little stamen dots all the way around on that. So you learn a lot of different techniques in these classes here. Also, you'll be learning how to put multicolors on. You can see the blues here and the yellows. These are more like Priscilla Hauser type leaves. They're decorative painting type leaves. And then you learn how to do the veins and stuff. And a lot of times I do my veins using a stylus. And I use the stylus a lot of times if my background paint is wet. I could come in and sketch out my petals however I want them using this stylus. I don't know what you call it. It's just a stylus, it says. Anyway, use that, and then it will make a real thin line, and you can use that for your pattern. It also makes really thin lines on your leaves when you want to put little veins on your leaves like we have here. That's using the stylus. As long as your paint is wet, it will do that for you. So lots of wonderful techniques that you can incorporate in other paintings that you do. It's just a different style of painting. It is totally overstroke painting. It isn't, it's a different, you're not just doing your laying in your color like this. You can block it in, but when your final stroke is going to be an overstroke. It won't be a smooth stroke down like that, okay? So it's completely different from what a lot of people do. And I'm not doing the ruffly stroke like that. It's totally flat. But when we come back, we do the overstroke, and we do the blending of colors. They're all wet in wet. They're thin. They're wet on wet. They're not real thick paint on there, but you will need your blending gels and your slow dries. And that way you have a lot of time to do your blending. Now this little painting here, the blending is done differently than what I did on the under peony here. This is done differently. The way I lay it in and the way I blend it, it's still an overstroke, but it is just done somewhat different. And then of course you learn the little flip-floppies on the outside here of how to do fillers and stuff on that. So if you're a total beginner, I would suggest staying with the wild rose first, and after you do the wild rose, go to one of your peony paintings here, and then after you do the peony paintings, then you can go ahead and start on these paintings here, which is your big fluffy roses. Okay, see how fluffy those are? Let's see if I can get that orange one up in here, get enough room. See how pretty that is? Look how big that is. Gosh, that's got to be about 7 inches across there. So it's a big painting. We do a little bit different foliage on this one. See the foliage here? Yeah, you're using your flat brush, and you're going to learn to do little spiky foliage on those right there. And of course then your little squishies. You got squishies on there, and of course your overstroke on your other leaves. Some of these are kind of mixed there. They're a mix between a rose and a poppy. Or this one looks more like a rose, this looks more like a poppy, this can look more like a peony. So there's several things on here that you would learn on this painting. Okay, so remember, if you are interested, just go to Facebook Messenger, send me a message and tell me that you're interested in the August classes, and we will get you set up for classes. You can take, I start painting about 9 a.m. through the summer months. Now that is Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time, so a lot of my students are on the East Coast, so you would be 3 hours ahead of me. I also do evening classes. I go till maybe 9 o'clock at night, so if you need an evening class, some of you work, you can certainly do that also. And I do afternoon classes too. So whatever works for you, we can try to arrange something so that we can get some classes going for you. All right, thank you so much. And until I see you hopefully in a class, bye for now. Take care. See you next time.